right, haves and have not fans. Now, honestly, I thought I was done talking about, the 10th anniversary and whatnot, but this is kind of like a follow-up video. I think that's the best way to put it. The 10th anniversary is over. Everybody's made their post about it. I did a number of videos that, to be honest, they should have been spread out throughout the month of May as opposed to all dropped at one time. But hey, I got the videos up by the 10th anniversary, so what can you do? A bunch of top 5, top 10 lists and whatnot. But I was reading through the comments, and everything I posted, on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, wherever I posted, instead of, a lot of people commenting, like, for example, here are the top 5 fights, or, the top deaths, or the sexiest moments, or, Veronica moments, or whatever. Instead of people listing, here are my favorite moments, everybody said the same damn thing. Bring the show back. The ending sucked. That's really what it boils down to. That's like a summary of damn near every comment on any of my halves post, over the past few days. And I was talking with my mom about this, and we were just talking about the show itself and the idea of, and I remember bringing it up. I said, it's like I said, even like in 2019, when Sisters, The Oval, and all the other Viacom shows got their start, and moving into like early 2020, I said, these shows, they're littered with the same problems that the haves and the have-nots had during those last few seasons. And as a result, I don't think that Sisters and, the Oval and whatnot, I don't think they will have the longevity of something like the original House of HAHN or the haves and the have-nots. And I said, arguably it was like the last great show of Tyler Perry. And she went so far as to say, oh yeah, I think it was the first. I'm like, oh, you mean like even above, like, let's say the original House of HAHN? It's like, well, I mean, yeah, that show was good, but like you've said a lot, on your blog and in the videos, that the haves and the have-nots was the first show that showed, us, just speaking about my mom and I specifically, it was the first time we saw Tyler Perry outside of the realm of comedy, when it came to like, oh, Medea, Mr. Brown, the stage plays and whatnot. The haves and the have-nots allowed us and people all over the world to see Tyler Perry was a powerhouse, behind the pen or keyboard, if you will, where he wrote the scripts, because he was really writing that drama, that soap opera series with everything he had. And it showed during those first few seasons. Now, we talked about how as the show went on, and as Tyler began to do other things, like Once If Loving You Was Wrong came into the picture, but I think it really became apparent that the show was beginning to drag in some areas when Too Close to Home was entered into the picture. Then from there, Tyler was doing a bunch of other movies and projects and whatnot, and the haves and the have-nots, after like season 4, give or take, that's when it became, okay, things are just dragged out for the sake of dragging out, and nothing's really going to change. There were some good moments, but at that point, the show became, yeah, okay, this is just going on a bit too long. And I think, what was the season? I forgot what year and what season, but it was the year we got the most episodes in one single year. I think it was like we got close to 40 or 50 something episodes, and it was like, okay, this is way too much. It was at that point where I'm like, yeah, I think this was around the time Derek was introduced and the lion tattoo thing became a talking point. This wasn't when he revealed the tattoo, but this was when the lion tattoo thing became, a mainstay in the series. I really felt that once Tyler had a lot on his plate, that's when the show suffered quality-wise as a result. And then when you look at the Viacom era, none of his shows really were a takeoff hit. Sisters, yes, but I'm not talking about ratings here. Guys, I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm talking about the show itself. House of HAHN, it was just a poor man's version of the original, even with the original cast there in season 9, at least during the first several episodes. Assisted living, dear Lord, season 1, hell no. Just no. Bruh, personally, I like Bruh, season 1. It just wasn't like, as a black man, it was a good show when it came out in terms of, it felt good to see, black men leading a show for a change, so representation for me, that felt good to see, but it wasn't great. Ruthless started off great. I ain't gonna lie. Ruthless, the first something about that first half of season 1, I really love Ruthless. First half of season 1. I don't feel like it got great again until season 3. But not haves and have-nots level. I will say Ruthless is the only show since the haves and the have-nots where I'm like, oh shit, I ain't know Tyler could do, go that far with it. But then it got, then it got stale. The Oval, no. Season 1 was no. It wasn't awful. It's not the worst season, but no, there are just way too many characters. And the first scene, that fight scene between Victoria and Hunter, it's like, no, just no. Sisters, no. I don't feel like there's been a hit. When I think hit, I mean like, okay, I'm gonna go back and rewatch it. What was it, earlier in the month when I rewatched season 1? I'm like, damn, I could watch it again. It's like Pringles or Lay's. Bet you can't, have just one, because it's that good. Even though Sisters is accessible on BET Plus, what I think all these shows are, Oval, Sisters, Sister Living, House of Pain. I don't rush back to rewatch episodes. Key scenes, yes, but with the haves and the have-nots, I'll rewatch full episodes, damn it. I can't just watch, let me watch when Catherine gave the number 9 speech. No, I gotta watch the follow-up episode. I gotta watch the one after that. There are a few things that get me in that mood where it's like, there's this one show or one television series or movie or whatever, where let's say you can't just sit down and watch. For case in point, I got the Chappelle Show on DVD. When I pop in one of the discs and I'm like, okay, let me watch the Making the Band parody, Dylon. I watch that episode, but then I gotta keep going. I can't just watch one episode. It's like you can't. It's like once you roll a boulder from the top of a hill, it's just going to keep on going. It doesn't stop. I find myself, damn, I done watched 15 episodes now. I need to, I thought I was going to just watch one. Same idea, if you're a Pokemon fan, like there are certain Pokemon League episodes, like the Kanto League. I gotta watch it all. Like if I watch one episode, I gotta watch them all. There's only 5 of them. There are some leagues like Unova or Unova. That's pretty much the only league where if I watch one episode. No, honestly, the Sinnoh League, I'll watch the Paul fight because it's like 4 episodes, 3 or 4 episodes where somehow skip. There are some shows and whatnot where you can't skip certain things. You just gotta watch it all the way through, or at least a portion of it, depending on if it's a certain saga or whatever. But with Tyler Perry, I mean, the haves and the have-nots, those early seasons just have a rewatchability factor. That's one of my main things when it comes to, me talking about these shows. The rewatchability of it. I mean, it's kind of like music nowadays. There are a lot of one-hit wonders or, big artists who, they ride the wave of a trend, but their music is a, what is it called? A fad, F-A-D. Basically like a trend that is, the it thing for a little while, but once it dies out, it dies out. Some people compare it to like the hula hoop or something. And I feel like the same way with the Tyler Perry shows, like, it hits a wave, but then that's it. Nobody really goes back to revisit it. I mean, how many of you actively, and I'm be honest here, how many of you actively go back and rewatch chunks of these episodes? Like you go back and you rewatch like 8 episodes of Sister Season 2 or the Oval, Season 4 or something. I don't think that's a lot of people. That's not to say there aren't people who go back to rewatch some of this stuff at all. But I don't think that anybody rewatches those shows as much as, let's say, the haves and the have-nots. The only Tyler Perry show from the Viacom era that I have gone back and rewatched a number of times, Zatima Season 1. Zatima Season 1. When that show first came out on BET Plus, week to week, I would rewatch those episodes multiple times because they were that good, you know. And this is aside from the reviews and whatnot and the commentary, but I would rewatch it because that shit was funny. It was good. Season 2, like I said, it doesn't do it for me. There are some episodes that are standout episodes, but I have not rewatched Season 2 episodes to the same extent that I did Season 1. So I think Zatima has the potential to become one of the greats. Season 1 had that spark. Season 2, I'm not going to rule it out because we still have the back half of Season 2 to get through. And, you know, I think my biggest complaint was some of the sister-isms, some of those things from the sister series that I didn't like about Zach and Fatima made their way over into Zatima. And as a result, the show is kind of falling from grace as a result of that. I really wish I knew the ratings for Season 2. I don't think I ever saw what the ratings were for that show once it hit BET Plus, at least the first half compared to Season 1. But those are my thoughts. I think the haves and the have-nots truly was lightning in a bottle. But that's not to say Tyler isn't capable of reaching those heights again. But remember, this was before the billionaire status. This was before the brand new Tyler Perry Studios lot. This was when, you know, TBS was done with him and Oprah needed help with her new network. And that hunger Tyler had was there. He was, you know, the only cook in the kitchen, but he was only working on one meal. If I remember correctly, he was doing Have and Have-Nots and Love Thy Neighbor at the same time, but it was clear which show got the bulk of his attention. Now, we know that on certain projects, Tyler has begun handing out, you know, the scripts to other people like, hey, you work on this show, you work on this show, while he's been focusing on more passion piece projects. With that being said, I am confident that maybe somewhere down the line, Tyler will have another haves and have-nots. I'm not talking about a reboot. I'm not talking about a continuation of that particular series, but I think we can still see the best of what Tyler Perry has to offer someday soon. Like I said, once he's had a lot of his projects handed off to other people, which he did foreshadow in an interview once he became a billionaire, the best is yet to come. You know, that's what I think. But for right now, the Haves and the Have-Nots was definitely his first great series, but I do hope that it's not his last. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one.